headlines today. Bandits abduct 30 students at Federal Government Girls College, Yauri. President Muhammadu Buhari visits Maiduguri, addresses troops. Zambian founding political leader dies. Hi, I'm Aisha Salihu, and here is Trust TV News Update. 30 students and 6 teachers at the Federal Government Girls College, Yauri, has been abducted. Armed bandits from Rijau Forest in Niger State reportedly arrived at school on motorcycles and opened fire on policemen guarding the college. One policeman is reported dead. Meanwhile, tension in Yauri is high as residents express fears over escalation of insecurity in the area. A member of the House of Representatives representing Ngaska Shanga Yauri Federal Constituency, Yusuf Tanko, says his people are continuously attacked by bandits. Daily Trust correspondent Itodo Daniel gives an insight into what the lawmaker said on the abduction.
The constituency where the incident happened, that's Honorable Tanko Yusuf Sununu, representing Ngaski Shanga and Yauri Federal Constituency. The House of Representatives addressed journalists a while ago and confirming the incident at Federal Government Girls College, Benin Yauri, where a number of girls, students have been abducted from the school alongside with their teachers. Though he could not tell us exactly the number of students that were kidnapped from the school, but he actually confirmed the fact that students and teachers of the school were abducted. He also told us that the government rode on motorcycles and they came in through the forest borders around Rijau, which is a bordering area with Niger State. And they came in and they had exchange with security operatives. In the process, he confirmed the killing of one of the security operatives, and some others were injured and currently have been moved to the hospital where they are receiving attention. And then he is actually calling on the federal government to quickly look into the situation in Benin Yauri to see how these abducted girls and students and teachers rather can be rescued. He told us that the military are already carrying out some air surveillance to see to how they can rescue the girls. So, and with the situation, he said the place has really become deserted. Farmers, he said, can no longer go to their farm because of the persistent attack. Because it's not the first attack, he also made mention of attacks in previous week in areas like Kamba, Damarea, Akimo, area of Yauri, and that the frequent attack is also putting that place under serious pressure, such that the farmers, he said, can no longer go to their farms because of the state of rising security in the emirate. And he mentioned that the place is critical to the food and agricultural production of the country, so that something urgent needs to be done to stem the tide of abductions and rising security in Yauri Emirate. There is no information as for the bandits reaching out to parents or calling on government for negotiations. Information in that regard is still sketchy. In fact, even the number of those abducted is not yet known. So it's a developing story, and we'll keep you updated as we get more details in this regard.
In a related development, Daily Trust correspondent Rumake Ahmed, in an interview earlier, said tension is also visible in Niger State, where the bandits launched the attack. We're joining Rumake Ahmed, Daily Trust correspondent in Niger State. Rumake, what would you say is the mood of residents since the kidnap of pupils of Tegina Islamia School, who are said to be seeking captivity?
Okay, for now, nothing much is being heard about the kidnapped students, except the information we got from the school owner and parents of those children. The last information I got from the school owner was that the bandits contacted him and they are giving him the option of 160 million naira instead of 200 million naira they demanded for the release of the children. And another information is they said some of those children have started falling sick and they don't have any means of taking care of them. From the state government part, they kept saying they are negotiating with the bandits to secure the release of those children, but they are not ready or willing to pay ransom to the bandits. Their concern is if they pay ransom to these people, they use same money to buy more ammunition to wreak further havoc on the state. But for now, nothing much is coming from the state government. And also the state government is saying the information about the students being sick might be a strategy from the parents and government to dance to their tune if they are not ready to do. So that's just the information about the kidnapped students for now.
Would you say there is somewhat apprehension in Tegina local government at the moment?
Exactly. In fact, the whole of the state, there is lots of apprehension, scares, and like this afternoon now, the information that some students were being kidnapped in Yauri, and it's just a border town between Kebbi State and Niger. So you should expect that there will be tension in the state. Every part of the state as we speak is not safe. There's a lot of apprehension, a lot of tension. In fact, a lot of people are planning to leave the state over the issue of banditry.
Still talking about kidnappings and banditry in Niger State, is there any information on when the district head of Zungeru district would be released?
For now, there's no information concerning the district head. They are still expecting the village the villagers, the residents of the village to contribute money to meet up with their demand of 100 Android phones, 5 Bajaj motorcycles, and additional money. But now, as we speak, the man is still a capacity, and they believe he will be able to raise the money, being a leader of the community. So for now, no information from the site, except for the wives. And the wives that were released are landed in Abuja for medical treatment. So no one has access to them to get information on what the demand of these people were to them when they were leaving the place.
And also, what would you say the local authorities are doing with regards to ensuring the release of the district head?
The local government cannot really do much without the state government. There are little or nothing the local government chairman can do on this case. Mostly, like in the case of the Zambia students that were kidnapped, the local government chairman has been going around, has been going around with parents to solicit for funds. So there is nothing in his power he can do to secure the release of the district head, except the state government comes to the rescue. There is nothing the man can do because most of, they have been under the attack for the past 8 years, so it's difficult. The media resources that is available to them, they spend it on paying ransom from time to time because kidnapping, attacks in the state is a daily occurrence that we face in Niger State. So according to some of them, there is little or nothing we can do to address the situation, except to take the money and pay the little ransom to pay in support of residents of the community.
So very quickly, one last question. What are the measures put in place by the state government towards securing and safeguarding lives of people in Niger State?
Well, for the state government, after the last abduction of the students, the state government came up with banning of motorcycles in the state capital, Mina. And it's been on effect for some time. And I had the opportunity of engaging the deputy governor on why Mina, because this attack is always in the suburb, in the villages. Why coming to Mina to do this? And he said they are trying to run the banning of Okada in Niger State generally. And that's why they are starting from the state capital. So the success of Lina Bani will determine whether they will spread it to other parts of the state. Then secondly, before yesterday, the governor launched a special vigilante group. But the group is just for the state capital, Mida here, and is to tackle youth restlessness and gang youth around the state capital who have been going around fighting, attacking people. So the governor said he did that so that they could curtail these youth before it will spread to other parts of the state and before it gets out of hand to the extent that the state won't be able to control them. So for now, those are the things I am sure the state government have done in the last few weeks. And because to them, according to them, security is something that one has to be careful about. Their strategies have to be kept within themselves so as not to sell out to the bandits. And also, the state government recently, from unconfirmed reports, because I didn't hear from the governor, he said some of his cabinet members, they are informants to bandits. So it is difficult for him to trust people around him. So most of his strategies now is just within him, he's not diverging them out. So that's the little I can say about the steps the state government taking in the last few weeks.
Thank you so much, Rumoke Ahmed, Daily Trust correspondent in Niger State. Still talking security matters, President Muhammadu Buhari visits Maiduguri, the Borno state capital, his first visit since the reported killing of Boko Haram leader Abubakar Shekau. While in Maiduguri, the president commissioned projects completed by Governor Babagana Zulum and advised troops of the Joint Task Force at Mai-Malan military cantonment. Buhari charged the troops to put more efforts in the fight against insecurity. We had earlier discussed the president's visit to Maiduguri with Daily Trust General Editor Hamza Idris. We're joining Hamza Idris, General Editor of Daily Trust newspapers. President Muhammadu Buhari is in Maiduguri for the first time since the Boko Haram leader was reportedly killed. What do you think his visit to the state implies?
The visit is very, very significant for the Nigerian troops and their commanders, for the people of Maiduguri and Borno State in general, and for other Nigerians and people who share the pains of the people of the Northeast across the world. The president will speak to the troops. He will also speak to their commanders. He will give them words of encouragement, and he will also talk to the people of Borno, most likely the IDPs who have been, in a kind of regimented life for so many years, and is also going to commission houses built by the federal government and the Borno state government as a way of encouraging them, as a way of ensuring them that there is hope in the future.
Okay, ISWAP attacked a military base in Damboa local government area of Borno State just a couple of hours ago. Do you think the group has successfully taken control of the region, especially after killing Abubakar Shekau?
Not really. They are trying to consolidate the gains of killing Shekau, and that is why they are now trying to raid most of the areas he hitherto controlled, like Damboa. Before now, it was the Abubakar Shekau faction that was active there. Now it is dead, the ISWAP, led by Al-Barnawi, they are trying to take control of that, but they are also facing serious challenges from Nigerian troops, which we hope the Nigerian troops will have an upper hand. So it's not yet over for them, and it will not be over for them. With the resilience and encouragement and the quality leadership the Nigerian troops are getting.
Do you see an end to insurgency in the nearest future in the Northeast?
that is the prayer of every Nigerian, and it is the prayer of every person of goodwill. You know, when you look back 12 years ago, it was really terrible because the Boko Haram were controlling large swaths of territory, not only in the northeast, they were even encroaching into northwest, north central, and other parts of the country. But now they are confined to greater extent to Maiduguri and the neighboring Borno state. So we feel if the right thing is done, the right leadership is provided, equipment provided for the Nigerian troops, they should be able to subdue them completely. And they can only succeed in doing this by taking the war to the terrorists in their enclave, especially in Sambisa forest. You know, for a very long time, the Nigerian troops have been trying to checkmate Shekau in Sambisa. They did their best. At the time, they said they chased him out of the place, but he went back. It is now the ISWAP during rivalry fight with the Abubakar Shekau faction that they succeeded in killing him, killing many of his commanders, you know, arresting many of his foot soldiers and all that. So the Nigerian troops should key in. They should not give the ISWAP breathing space. Because if they give them breathing space for 1 or 2 months, then we are going back to square one. So they have to confront them frontally and make sure that they bring down most of the commanders, they arrest, because among the foot soldiers there were some who were conscripted forcefully. So they should be able to get these people back and then find a way of reforming them. But the recalcitrant leaders and all that, I think they should treat them in the way that they will never be there again.
Thank you so much, Hamza Idris, General Editor of Daily Trust newspapers, for that insight on the insecurity in the Northeast, most especially Maiduguri, the Borno state capital.
You are welcome.
Day of the African Child celebration reiterates an end to violence against children. Stay with us.
Get latest updates on current topical issues and breaking news by downloading the Trust TV mobile app on your Android devices. Go online, click Google Play Store, search Trust TV, install the app, and get doses of unfiltered information on happenings all over the world in your pocket. Trust TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
You're still watching Trust TV News Updates. Moving on to more news stories. Policymakers and development partners have raised concerns over increased violence against children, posing as a critical human rights and public health challenge. Stakeholders who gathered in Abuja to commemorate the Day of the African Child also prefer ways of ending violence against children in Nigeria.
We all need to do something, to act now, to protect their future.
The world stands at a pivotal movement towards ending violence against children, realizing the noble vision of the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child. A national violence against children survey conducted by the National Population Commission in 2014 reported high levels of violence, with 1 in every 4 children having experienced severe forms of emotional, physical, or sexual violence.
It's an apt moment to take stock of the rights of children and particularly the unacceptable issues that we are all rallying around on violence against children in Nigeria and agree on ways forward collectively to address this issue.
All relevant stakeholders must spare no effort to accelerate the implementation of Agenda 2040 for children in Africa, and the time for this is now.
The National Policy Dialogue is on ending violence against children. As we are all aware, since the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, violence has doubled or tripled in the country, especially violence against children.
The children were not left out of the conversation, as they lent a voice against the violence being meted on children in Nigeria.
The Nigerian children demand to feel safe in their homes, at school, in their communities, because right now Nigeria is not safe for most of the children. And also they need education, they need welfare, they need healthcare facilities, and they need all the basic rights that they need to make sure that their future is brighter.
The government should allow the children to speak for their rights, and the government should put more attention on the children of this days because of the future of this country is holding upon them.
Speakers at the event believes that ending violence against children is first and foremost an ethical imperative towards the realization of children's rights. Martia Omar, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Away from Nigeria, Botswana has discovered the world's 3rd largest diamond. A diamond company in Gaborone presented the 1,098-carat diamond to President Mogwai Masisi and his cabinet. The stone is discovered on June 1st from the South Kimberlite Pipe at Zhuangning Mine. It is the largest gem quality in the history of the company, a joint partnership with the Botswanan government. The diamond is believed to be among the top 5 largest gems discovered in the world. African culture ministers attending the United Nations World Tourism Organization Brand African Summit pledged commitment to work together to establish a new narrative for growing tourism across the continent. The summit holding at Windhoek, Namibia, agrees that working together will revitalize the continent's tourism industry currently battered by COVID-19. The ministers resolved that member states will work with the private sector to promote African vibrant culture and useful energy to the global audience. Zambia founding President Kenneth Kaunda has died at the age of 97. Kaunda died in a military hospital in Lusaka on Thursday. Zambia got its independence from British in 1964 and Kaunda ruled the country until 1991. Frederick Chiluba succeeded Kaunda after multi-party elections took place in Zambia. And in sports, Real Madrid's long-serving captain Sergio Ramos is set to leave the club after 16 years. Ramos and the club do not agree on a new contract, and the defender will become a free agent when his current contract expires at the end of June. Let's watch this viral video of an encounter between a taxi driver and a sport utility vehicle.
Collins.
On this note, we have come to the end of Trust TV News Update. Follow us on all of our social media handles for more news. I'm Aisha Salihu. Thanks for joining us.